14 figures emerged from a bright light onto a combat arena. 3 destroyers were still building the stage from the grandstands. The new arrivals were Universe 7 and their chosen fighters. Most of the team looked around in awe at their surroundings. They had entered the world of Void. It was an endless realm of nothingness. The fighters scanned the area. Some participants were already standing in the center of the ring. Gohan asked if this was the world of Void. Master Roshi pointed at the stands and asked what those things were. Whis explained that they were creating or repairing the fighting stage. Beerus wondered why they were the ones doing the work. 3 spheres of light appeared on the battlefield. This signaled the arrival of other universes. Beerus noticed something important. The other teams had arrived without needing to hold hands. Beerus yelled at Whis. He asked if Whis lied about needing to hold hands to enter. Whis chuckled and said he only wanted to bring the team closer together. Beerus called him a fool and said the stunt almost separated them completely. Android 18 called out to get the attention of the team. She was standing at the edge of the arena looking down. The entire group walked over to her. They saw a massive void beneath the stage. It looked incredibly deep. It seemed like an endless drop. Goku said he could not see anything down there. Whis explained that participants who fall out of the ring will lose. Android 21 asked if they would lose from falling all that distance. Vegeta pointed out that they could just fly. Whis corrected him and said flight was impossible here. Goku wanted to test that rule. He took a massive leap high into the air. He hovered for a brief second before falling at normal speed right back to the floor. Goku admitted that he really could not fly. Whis said it was obvious. He explained that the space was controlled to force fighters to push opponents off the stage. Android 21 asked who was powerful enough to manipulate a realm like this. Whis answered that his father the Grand Priest was responsible. Master Roshi pointed to another universe. He noticed 2 fighters using wings to hover over their teammates. Whis clarified that fighters with natural wings could use them just like birds on Earth. Whis also mentioned that the gravity had been adjusted so each fighter felt the gravity of their home planet. He then told Beerus it was time to move to the spectator stands. Whis floated away. Beerus demanded to know why Whis was allowed to fly. Whis replied that only the warriors were restricted from flying. Shin wished the fighters good luck. Old Kai added that the fate of the universe depended on them. Both Supreme Kais levitated away. This left Beerus alone with his mortal team. Beerus growled and told them they had to win or he would destroy them himself. Vegeta told the destroyer to wait and see him win the tournament. Beerus warned him that he had better win. The god of destruction then flew to the spectator stands to join the rest of Universe 7. A new fighter walked over with very familiar footsteps. It was Frost approaching the Universe 7 warriors. Frost made a sarcastic comment. Frieza looked at him in shock. He never expected to meet another member of his own race. Goku asked if they were from Universe 6. Frost ignored the Saiyan. He shared a wicked smile with Frieza. The Emperor of Evil smiled right back with pure malice. Goku realized that Hit must be nearby. He told Vegeta to wait while he went to find him. Vegeta groaned in annoyance. Kaba raised his hand in greeting and called out to his master. He was happy to see Vegeta again. He asked how the Saiyan Prince had been. Vegeta crossed his arms and told Kaba he was not his master. Goku stepped in and asked how Kaba was doing. Kaba said he was doing great and asked about Goku. Goku laughed and asked about the 2 girls walking behind Kaba. One girl walked with her hand on her hip. She had a very serious expression. The other girl walked quietly behind her. She did not show any shyness or happiness. She just followed along. Kaba introduced the first girl as Caulifla. He explained she was a Saiyan just like him. Goku was amazed to meet a female Saiyan. He reached out his hand to greet her. Caulifla smacked his hand away. She made it clear she did not want to be friends. Kaba scolded her. Caulifla told him to stop messing around. She said the tournament would decide the strongest universe, and she did not come to socialize. Goku laughed and said she was a lot like him. Caulifla glared at Goku. She clearly did not like him. Android 21 was standing nearby. She stared intensely at the female Saiyan. She did not like how Caulifla was treating her partner. Android 21 frowned and started walking toward them. Goku asked Kaba if the quiet girl was also a Saiyan. Kaba introduced her as Kale. Kale looked away and refused to answer. Krillin and Master Roshi watched the Saiyans talking in the distance. Krillin asked if fighting women would be a problem for his master. Roshi did his crane pose and promised he had his desires under complete control. Nearby Ariel poked Frieza on his tail. Frieza stepped away to avoid her. He wanted to throw the little girl across the arena. He knew that would be a bad idea right now. He muttered to himself and wondered why they brought a child to the tournament. Sidra and his angel watched Universe 7 from the stands. Sidra called them worms. His Supreme Kai told him to forget about them. Sidra refused and blamed them for the entire situation. The Supreme Kai suggested letting the trio de dangers handle them. Sidra agreed they were strong enough. He noted they would need to attack together to eliminate any of the Universe 7 fighters. Android 21 was about to reach the Saiyans. Suddenly everyone felt an overwhelmingly powerful presence. It was a terrifying energy far beyond anything the Saiyans could produce. Goku and Vegeta and Kappa and Android 21 all looked horrified. Caulifla did not care at all. She mocked the Universe 7 Saiyans for acting like little girls. She said she would not be surprised if they were eliminated first. Android 21 crossed her arms and glared at the girl. She asked who Caulifla was to judge their strength. Caulifla grew angry and asked who Android 21 was calling a little girl. Android 21 smirked and called her a child again. Caulifla stepped forward ready to fight. Android 21 matched her movement. Goku stepped between them to stop the fight. Caulifla told the idiot to get out of her way. Android 21 warned Caulifla that if she insulted him again she would throw her off the edge right now. Caulifla dared her to try it. Gohan rushed over to help his father calm things down. Kale clenched her fists in anger at how they were treating Caulifla, but she stayed completely silent. Kappa dragged Caulifla away to prevent a fight before the match even started. Kale followed them back to the Universe 6 team. Android 21 muttered that her attitude was awful. Vegeta pointed out that Android 21 used to act the exact same way before she had a child with Kakarot. Android 21 told Vegeta he was stupid and denied ever acting like that. Before they could argue more, Goku leaped away. He headed straight for Universe 11, where the massive energy had come from. Goku ran past Toppo and waved at him. He stopped right behind the warrior with the terrifying energy. Goku greeted him and guessed his name was Jiren. The moment Goku spoke the name, he felt the energy shift behind him. Goku did not even see him move. Jiren was suddenly standing at his back. Jiren told him to get lost. Goku turned around in shock and looked at Jiren the Grey. Vegeta asked Android 21 if she saw Jiren move. Android 21 admitted she did not notice his movement at all. Vegeta concluded that Jiren was the mortal who possessed the power of a god of destruction. The Grand Priest spoke with a voice that commanded absolute respect. He asked the teams to gather so he could give the final instructions. Every fighter obeyed instantly. The Grand Priest floated high above them. He explained the rules of the tournament one last time. The time limit was 100 tacks. The center pillar would slowly descend. The tournament would end when the pillar reached the floor. Krillin asked what 100 tacks meant. Piccolo explained it was about 48 Earth minutes. The Grand Priest stated that all fighting techniques were allowed. Weapons and killing were strictly forbidden. Fighters had to throw their enemies off the stage. Injured fighters were safe until they were thrown out of the ring. Master Roshi realized they would need to be clever in their battles. Piccolo agreed that a good strategy could win the tournament. The Grand Priest continued the rules. Abilities that allowed floating were banned. Fighters with natural wings were allowed to use them to avoid falling. Healing items were completely forbidden. Murmurs filled the arena. Some fighters looked nervous while others looked determined. Goku said it was time to start. Gohan reminded his team about the Supreme Kai plan. He told them to fight back to back in a circle and gang up on their opponents. Vegeta called the plan boring. Frieza sarcastically promised to keep it in mind. Krillin sighed and doubted anyone would cooperate. Caulifla noticed Kale looking down. She told Kale to hold her head high so people would not think they were weak. She told Kale to act ruthless to draw attention. Caulifla wanted Kale to use that massive green power she had recently discovered. She promised it would be easy. Goku stared at Universe 11, while everyone else looked around. The atmosphere was incredibly tense. Frieza smiled and said he loved being in such a bloodthirsty environment. He found the unsettling atmosphere very pleasing. Master Roshi volunteered to handle the female fighters. Krillin asked if he was sure about that. Master Roshi confidently said yes. Shin wondered if their universe could actually win. Old Kai said they had to trust their team. Whis pointed out that their destiny rested entirely in the hands of mortals. Beerus told Whis to be quiet since the angel was immune to erasure. Whis laughed at his own good fortune. Beerus stood up and yelled at Universe 7 to work as a team. Quiddala laughed from his side of the stands. He mocked Beerus for begging for teamwork. Beerus sat back down and pretended not to hear him. Whis noticed Beerus was ignoring the insult. Beerus simply stated that they did not get along. Krillin got into a fighting stance and told Android 18 they needed to try their best. She told him not to worry. The Grand Priest asked Zeno if they should begin. Both kings of all agreed eagerly. The Grand Priest told the fighters to prepare themselves. The tension in the air peaked. The gods and angels watched the mortals. Goku offered a challenging smile. The Grand Priest shouted for the Tournament of Power to begin. He lowered his hand to start the event. The fighters charged at each other. The massive battle royale started instantly. Frost and Ribrianne and the Pride troopers unleashed attacks. Bright flashes of light covered the battlefield. The two kings of all shook with pure excitement at the incredible spectacle. Universe 7 remained in the center of the stage. They looked around at the chaos. Goku noted that everyone wanted to be the center of attention. He spotted Toppo using brute force against Vegeta. Goku sprinted toward them and shouted for Toppo to fight him. A fighter from Universe 4 named Ganis stepped in his way. Goku was too excited to fight Toppo, so he unleashed a flurry of punches. Ganis could only block the rapid attacks. Goku broke his defense and kicked him away. Gohan called out to his father and reminded him of the plan. It was no use. The rest of the team scattered. Gohan and Piccolo and Roshi and Krillin and Frieza and Errol were the only ones left. Gohan begged Vegeta and Android 21 to wait. Vegeta ignored him and went to find a fight. Android 21 turned back and apologized to her stepson. She told Gohan that no one was ever going to follow his plan. She promised to come running if they shouted for help. Frieza laughed and said he was going to have some fun too. He walked away firing death beams in every direction. Ariel cheered about how fun this was and ran off. Gohan sadly noted that no one followed his plan. Master Roshi told him to forget about it since they all expected this to happen. Up in the stands, Shin complained that they wasted time making a plan. Old Kai said there was nothing they could do now. Beerus cursed them for being insubordinate pests. Explosions continued to shake the arena. Naririma from Universe 3 started spinning wildly across the battlefield. He slammed into Ribrianne and her team and knocked them over. Hells complained that her warriors were attacked before they could transform. Naririma kept spinning and interrupted a fight between Dispo and Kaba. He knocked them both far away. The Universe 3 Supreme Kai bragged that Naririma was modified specifically for this exact moment. Moscow beeped a command. Campari translated that Lord Moscow wanted Naririma to knock everyone off the stage without mercy. The Supreme Kai proudly declared that Universe 3 would be the only survivor of this tactic. Naririma kept spinning toward his next targets. Hit suddenly stepped in and stomped on one of his mechanical arms. The metal snapped instantly. This stopped the spinning robot in his tracks. Universe 3 was shocked. Jampa cheered and praised his greatest assassin. Basil jumped in and stomped on the other arm. Ro cheered for his fighter. Naririma collapsed with both arms broken and dangling at his sides. Nigarashi screamed his name and ran to help his teammate. Jampa laughed at the failed strategy. He laughed so hard he started coughing. Vadis patted his back and reminded him not to eat before arriving. The kings of all noted that the plan failed. The Grand Priest agreed that the Universe 3 strategy was a total disaster. Lilibue from Universe 10 fired energy blasts at Basil while flying above him. Basil dodged her attacks by jumping side to side. He fired an explosive red kick at her. Lilibue countered with a blue energy wave. The attacks clashed in midair. Basil fired another kick and overpowered her blast. The explosion knocked the winged girl over the edge. Lilibue screamed in terror as she fell into the endless void. A moment later she teleported into the grandstands next to her team. Master Roshi realized that eliminated fighters were safely transported to the benches. The Grand Priest announced that Lilibue of Universe 10 was eliminated. Lilibue apologized profusely to her gods. Rumush screamed at her and asked what good her wings were if she forgot to use them. She cried and said it happened so fast she forgot she could fly. Rumush was furious that the first eliminated fighter was from their universe. He complained that they only had 9 warriors left. Gawasu told him to calm down because they could not change the past. He asked Lilibue to cheer for her teammates. She shouted words of encouragement to Universe 10. Beerus screamed at his team and forbade them from falling off. Jampa yelled at Universe 6 to eliminate Universe 7. Beerus glared at Jampa while the other destroyer laughed at him. Down on the stage, Android 18 was fighting an even match against Kakat. Vegeta refused to transform to save energy. He continuously punched Hyssop to break his guard. Frieza shot Catapesla away with a single finger beam. Android 21 slowly walked toward Dr. Rhoda. The magic user threw spells at her, but they did nothing. Her own magical power was so immense that his attacks were useless. Rhoda screamed and ran away from her. Goku delivered a heavy kick to Ganos. The fighter barely blocked the immense physical force. Goku smiled because he was enjoying the thrill of battle. Gohan and Piccolo and Roshi and Krillin were completely surrounded. Jokori and Shosa and Majora from Universe 4 teamed up with Batamo and Lavender to trap them. Gohan prepared to move, but Master Roshi stopped him. He reminded Gohan not to act recklessly, and to stick to the plan. The enemies charged at the Universe 7 group. The 4 Earth warriors jumped into the air together. They fired their signature attacks at the same time. Krillin used the solar flare. Piccolo fired the special beam cannon. Gohan unleashed the Masenko. Master Roshi blasted a massive energy wave. The combined assault was impossible to block. The smoke cleared and the enemies were covered in scratches. The 4 warriors landed safely in their original spot. Master Roshi praised their opponents for being worthy of the tournament. Ganis realized he had no chance against Goku and ran away. Goku turned and spotted Toppo nearby. They locked eyes, but Murachim suddenly punched Toppo. This blocked Goku from reaching him. Goku looked past them and saw Jiren standing completely still. Rabanra from Universe 2 charged at Jiren. Jiren did not even move. He simply glared at the fighter and terrified him into running away. Universe 11 gods praised Jiren for his stoic style. Goku and Jiren stared at each other. Goku took a single step toward him. Suddenly a large arm wrapped around his neck. Someone dragged Goku toward the edge of the arena. Beerus screamed at Goku for getting distracted again. Quiddala laughed and praised Nink for showing Goku true terror. Nink held Goku in a tight chokehold. He lifted the Saiyan and walked backward toward the edge. Goku struggled to break the grip. Nink took step after step toward the void. The Universe 1 Supreme Kai found it ironic that the mortal who started the tournament was about to be eliminated first. Goku managed to free one hand and punched Nink in the face repeatedly. It was not enough to break the hold. Nink tightened his grip and crushed Goku. The Saiyan screamed in pain. Beerus panicked as he realized the fighter planned to jump off the stage with Goku. Old Kai admitted it was a very smart tactic to remove a massive threat. Android 21 walked over and watched Goku being dragged away. Nink was confused because she was not trying to save her partner. Android 21 calmly asked Goku if he could handle this. Goku grunted and promised he could. Nink asked why she was not helping him. She reminded Nink that Goku said he could do it himself. Nink laughed and said he was taking Goku to heaven. Goku yelled at Nink to go by himself. Goku transformed into a golden warrior and broke free. He threw Nink backward into the void. Nink fell and reappeared in the stands. The Grand Priest announced the elimination. Quiddala slapped Nink on the head for failing. Android 21 told her partner not to be so overconfident. Goku laughed and apologized. He explained he was distracted by Jiren and wanted to fight him. Android 21 warned him that Jiren had a terrifying energy that eclipsed everyone else in the arena. Goku said that only made him more excited. Android 21 told him to be careful before pointing out they had company. The trio de Dangers and Sorrel and Chapel surrounded them. Goku noted there were a lot of them. He looked at Android 21. She smiled and said that just made things more exciting. They both got into fighting stances. Goku dropped back to his base form to save energy. Android 21 remained in her human form. Ro screamed like a maniac. He told Goku they would tear him to pieces. Android 21 asked what was wrong with the screaming god. Goku joked that the god had a loose screw. Goku and the Wolf brothers started trading heavy blows. The fight pushed them away from Android 21. Shin realized Universe 9 held a grudge against Goku for starting the tournament. Beerus threatened to destroy Goku if he lost, because he was too confident. Goku took a heavy hit and was knocked into the center of the 3 wolves. Shin asked why Goku did not just use his blue form to win instantly. Whis explained that the blue form drained too much stamina. He needed to save his energy for the final battles. Old Kai proudly mocked Shin for being a novice god. The kings of all were thrilled to see Goku fighting 3 people at once. Jampa bet that Universe 7 would crumble if Goku was eliminated early. Android 21 walked over to help Goku. Sorrel and Chapel tried to punch her, but she caught their fists in her bare hands. She asked Goku if he had things under control. Goku promised he could handle the brothers. Basil mocked them and asked if Goku could destroy their brotherly bond. Bergamo laughed and said neither Goku nor the woman could beat them. Goku yelled at them to back off because Android 21 was busy. She disagreed and casually kicked Sorrel and Chapel across the stage. They barely managed to grab the ledge to stop from falling. Shin wondered if Goku would let her help. Beerus doubted Goku would lose to these fools. He stood up and yelled at Android 21 to help Goku finish the fight quickly. Goku shouted back that he was having fun. Android 21 winked at Goku and wished him luck. She walked away to find her own opponents. She knew Goku could win alone. Bergamo told Goku he would pay for her arrogance. Lavender gathered purple poison in his hands. He promised one touch would eliminate the Saiyan. The wolves attacked together. Goku dodged the poison strikes. He kicked Basil but took a direct punch from Bergamo. Goku slid backward but kept his balance. The wolves surrounded him again. Lavender aimed for his face, but missed every time. Goku shouted and formed an energy barrier around his body. This rendered the poison completely useless. Basil tripped Goku with a sweep kick. Goku bounced right back up and clashed with Bergamo. They traded equal blows until Goku broke his guard. Goku punched the oldest brother in the face multiple times and kicked him away. Across the arena, Frieza was stomping on Nappa. He asked the screaming fighter if he was already too tired to play. Rosal flew toward Frieza at top speed. Frieza did not even turn around. He flicked his finger and blasted the wings right off the gargoyle. Rosal crashed to the floor. Frieza walked toward him with a sadistic smile. He told the terrified fighter they were going to have a lot of fun. Back with Goku, the trio de danger surrounded the Saiyan again. They ran in rapid circles around him. Their speed created a rainbow effect that confused Goku. Ro screamed that the triangle of danger would defeat Goku. Vegeta punched Prum and Nigrishi away. He noticed Goku struggling with the wolves. The wolves landed multiple hits on Goku from blind spots. Vegeta suddenly appeared back to back with Goku. Vegeta asked why he was struggling with these mangy dogs. He scolded Goku for refusing help from the woman. Goku admitted it was a bit difficult. Vegeta told him to get out of the way so he could finish them. Goku argued that they were his opponents. Lavender yelled at them to stop mocking his brothers. Ro laughed and ordered his fighters to throw the idiots out. The rest of the Universe 9 fighters gathered around the wolves. It was now 8 against 2. They surrounded the Saiyans and laughed wickedly. Shin hoped their teamwork would win the fight. Whis pointed out they usually fought terribly together. Goku told Vegeta they could take 4 each. Vegeta made it a race to see who could finish first. Vegeta charged at Lavender. Goku chased after Basil. This completely broke the triangle of danger formation. Android 21 searched the battlefield rapidly. She was looking specifically for the foolish Saiyan girl. She wanted to personally throw Caulifla out of the ring for disrespecting Goku. She could not find her anywhere. Instead, she found Frieza aiming a death beam at Rosal. She ordered Frieza not to kill him. Frieza asked what she would do if he did. She reminded him that killing would penalize the team. Frieza mentioned they still had a score to settle. Android 21 reminded him that she warned him never to come back to life. Frieza promised to get his revenge after the tournament. He planned to kill Goku first and then hunt her down. Frieza shot a beam right through the leg of his victim. He grabbed Rosal by the throat and tossed him out of the ring. He muttered about taking out the trash. The Grand Priest announced the elimination. Shin worried that Frieza and Android 21 fighting each other would ruin everything. Old Kai knew they would never be friends after all their violent history. Beerus threatened to destroy them both if they cost him the victory. Sidra panicked as his team lost another fighter. Ro told him not to worry, because they still had 8 warriors left. Vegeta fought Lavender while keeping his energy barrier active. Hop jumped in and tried to slash Vegeta with her sharp claws. Vegeta barely dodged the cat girl. Hop promised to slice his handsome face. She kept swinging her claws, but kept missing. She jumped into the air to distract him. This gave Lavender an opening to punch Vegeta in the stomach. Goku tried to help his rival, but Bergamo punched him in the face. Across the stage, Ariel snuck up behind Vegeta. The massive robot punched her and sent her flying into a rock. Her head popped right off her shoulders. The robot and everyone watching panicked. They thought he had killed the little girl. Ariel just laughed and placed her head back on her neck. She told Vegeta he was very fun. She dashed forward and punched the robot. The immense physical force sent the massive metal man flying through the air. Jampa screamed in shock that a little girl could move Vegeta so easily. Android 21 and Frieza stood face to face. She told him it was not her idea to bring him back, so he should not expect any kindness. Frieza said he expected nothing from disgusting creatures that breed with Saiyans. Android 21 raised her energy in anger. Frieza matched her power in his final form. Android 21 warned him she had been training to protect her family. She told him to step up if he wanted her to break him again. Frieza told her not to be so eager. He wanted his promised death match with Goku first. He promised to kill her next. Before Android 21 could respond, Beerus screamed from the stands. He ordered them to stop fighting instantly and go help Goku and Vegeta. Frieza smirked and told her to follow her orders. He walked away. Android 21 promised he would not escape her wrath if he hurt her family. She placed 2 fingers on her forehead and teleported away. Frieza muttered that she was not the only one who got stronger. Goku and Vegeta fought against the 8 warriors of Universe 9. They were getting cornered. Goku fought Bergamo and Comfrey and Chapel and Basil. Vegeta fought Hop and Lavender and Hyssop and Sorrel. Goku kicked Bergamo away and smashed the heads of Basil and Comfrey together. He kicked Chapel across the stage. Vegeta dodged Hop while Hyssop shot freezing ice from his mouth. Vegeta dodged and the ice accidentally froze Sorrel. Lavender tried to sneak attack Vegeta from a blind spot. Android 21 suddenly appeared and kicked Lavender in the face. The yellow wolf crashed near the edge of the stage. Android 21 picked up the frozen block containing Sorrel and casually tossed her out of the ring. Goku grabbed Comfrey by the leg and spun him around. He threw him directly into Oregano. Both fighters tumbled right off the edge of the arena. Vegeta was furious that Android 21 stepped in to help him. He powered up in anger and kneed Hyssop in the gut. He grabbed Hop by her claws. He tossed them both out of the arena. Goku punched Bergamo repeatedly. Vegeta was still angry about being helped. He punched Bergamo right in the face and sent him crashing into his brothers. Android 21 delivered a swift kick that sent Chapel out of bounds. The Grand Priest announced that 6 fighters from Universe 9 were eliminated. Ro panicked because only the Trio de Dangers remained. Sidra trembled as he realized his team was almost gone. Ro begged his last 3 fighters to eliminate the Universe 7 warriors. Beerus cheered because someone finally listened to his orders. Shin guessed Vegeta only accepted help because they were struggling. Whis corrected him and said they were just playing around. He noted that Vegeta eliminated 2 fighters instantly when he stopped playing. Old Kai imagined how strong the 3 of them would be if they actually worked together. The Trio de Danger stood up. They were furious and glowing with maximum power. They fired their ultimate combined beam attack at the 3 Universe 7 warriors. Goku and Vegeta transformed to reach higher power. Android 21 raised her energy slightly. Goku and Android 21 charged a massive energy wave. Vegeta charged a final flash. They fired their massive energy waves together. The blasts collided in the center of the arena. The shockwave lit up the entire stage. Universe 9 watched in absolute terror. Across the stage, Ariel chased Vikal. Vikal fired energy blasts, but Ariel dodged them all like it was a game. Ariel headbutted Vikal right off the stage. Hell screamed in shock that a child eliminated her warrior. Vikal appeared in the stands holding her back in pain. Ribrianne promised to avenge her. The beam struggle between Universe 7 and Universe 9 remained equal for a moment. The wolves pushed their power to the absolute limit. The Saiyans and the android pushed back harder. They screamed and unleashed more power. Their combined beam easily overpowered the wolves. The blast engulfed the brothers and threw them completely out of the arena. Caulifla watched the clash in awe. She recognized the golden transformation and decided she wanted to fight Goku. The Grand Priest announced the elimination of the 3 brothers. All fighting across the entire arena stopped instantly. The atmosphere turned deadly silent. Everyone stared at the Grand Priest and the kings of all. The Grand Priest stated that Universe 9 had no fighters left in the ring. He announced with a chilling voice that Universe 9 would be annihilated. Both Xenos raised their hands. A white aura surrounded the fighters and gods of Universe 9. They vanished completely. Mojito smiled for an unknown reason. The spectator benches for Universe 9 were completely empty. Only the angel remained. Beerus asked Whis what happened. Whis checked his staff and confirmed that Universe 9 was completely gone. Every planet and galaxy and mortal had been erased from existence. Beerus told his team they absolutely could not lose. Android 21 stared at the empty benches in shock. Master Roshi was horrified that countless lives vanished in an instant. Piccolo warned that they would be next if they lost. Goku realized the threat was completely real. Vegeta dropped back to his base form to conserve energy. He admitted things just got entirely too serious. Goku agreed and powered down. Android 21 promised to save her absolute limit form for pure emergencies. She advised them to save their blue forms as well. Vegeta told her she did not need to remind him. The Grand Priest announced that only 7 universes remained. Goku remembered seeing this happen in the future timeline. He promised to fight harder to win. Vegeta told him not to get his hopes up. Vegeta declared that he would be the one to win the Super Wish Orbs. Mojito happily announced he would be the first angel to leave. Shin panicked because he could not feel the energy of his fellow gods anymore. Whis reminded him that erased beings leave absolutely nothing behind. Old Kai was terrified that the kings of all did it without a second thought. Jampa called Zeno a terrifying god. Vados pretended to cry and said goodbye to Jampa. Jampa yelled at her for being so calm about his impending death. Vados laughed and told him to motivate his fighters. Krillin shook with fear. Piccolo asked if he regretted coming. Krillin admitted he was just incredibly nervous. Gohan asked if they were okay. Master Roshi said they were trying to hold on. Gohan agreed that watching a universe get erased was deeply overwhelming. Frieza glared at the kings of all. He hated that such small childish beings held such terrifying power. He promised to find a way to stand above them someday. Shin noticed that all the fighting had stopped. Beerus explained that the violent strategy of Universe 9 got them erased first. Old Kai assumed this would make everyone fight more cautiously. Whis noted that the clock was still ticking. Zeno complained that no one was fighting. The Grand Priest promised the fights would resume soon because some warriors were getting eager. Vegeta warned Goku not to waste any more energy. Goku told him not to waste energy playing around. Goku walked away. Android 21 mocked Vegeta and walked in a different direction. Vegeta glared at Hit and prepared to settle a score. Goku called out to his partner. She asked what was wrong. Goku said he had been thinking about something for months. He wanted to ask her now just in case something bad happened. Android 21 asked if this was a good time. Goku admitted he was not sure. He mentioned that Bulma had to help him understand it. Android 21 knew it must be serious if Bulma was involved. Goku reached into his combat suit. He pulled something out and kept it hidden in his closed fist. He looked deeply into her eyes. Goku started to ask if she wanted to marry him. A massive explosion suddenly erupted right next to them. The blast forced them to leap away from the smoke. Android 21 said she did not hear what he was trying to say. She felt it would be better to talk about it later. She reminded him they could not lower their guard with so many enemies around. She suggested he tell her when there were fewer fighters left on the stage. Goku laughed and agreed. He put the object back in his suit and promised to tell her later. He asked who she was going to fight next. Android 21 said she could not find her previous target. Goku said he was going to hunt down Toppo. Android 21 kissed him for good luck and told him to win the tournament. Goku smiled brightly and promised he would. He sprinted off to find the Pride Trooper. Android 21 went in the opposite direction. She needed to find a new opponent to secure the survival of her family. Will Goku finally get a quiet moment to ask his question? Can Android 21 track down Caulifla to teach her a harsh lesson? Find out in the next part.